All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Joachim. I'm a developer at SAP. With me on stage today are my colleagues Tarun, who is product manager at SAP, and Bastian, the co-CEO of the SAP partner CELONIS. Together with CELONIS, we are going to present you the process intelligence of the digital age. BPM technology, already today, is at its very core driving the next business transformation towards a digital business. Business processes need to be routinely optimized and reimagined in order to support this digitalization. For this, the combination of process visibility and process mining is a very powerful approach. But how does it look like in daily business? Let me introduce you to the operations manager, Matthew Black. He is operating big processes from an abstract business scenario perspective. But this makes it hard for him to identify root cause of issues hidden deep down in the process. Luckily, there's Jack Wilson in the organization. He started his career as a developer and is now working as a data scientist. He's a process mining expert and can help Matthew to solve process issues. Now let's have a look into the day in the lives of Matthew and Jack. Matthew operates an order-to-cash business scenario and observes an overall increased process cycle time. He wants to know, why are so many process instances delayed? He needs to find the root cause quickly, as the next report to his manager is taking place tomorrow, and so he asks Jack for help. Jack feels that Matthew is under pressure and promises him a solution soon, very soon. His idea, a business scenario, is based on the expected event flow of a process, which might differ from the operative as-is process. Hence, to confirm his idea, he needs to get insights into the as-is process. But how? Sadly, he currently doesn't have any tool support, but from his time as a developer, he has still some implementation skills left. And so he tries to implement some process mining algorithm on its own. It collects and checks all process events, potentially distributed across multiple systems and their transitions. Meanwhile, Matthew is getting angry as the root cause analysis is taking too long for him. Then, after multiple cups of coffee, an exception occurs in Jack's algorithm. At the end, he invested a lot of time and manual effort in finding the solution for Matthew, but now he has no answer for him. So Jack tried to implement some process mining algorithm on its own. Neither is he still a developer, nor is his manual approach very efficient. What if we could provide him a tool to quickly get intelligent insights into the as-is process? A tool which is based on the same process data mart as Matthew operates on for process visibility, automatically retrieving the as-is process in real time without the need of manual coding. So, rewind. How would a day in the life of Matthew and Jack look alike with such a tool? Again, Matthew operates an order-to-cash business scenario and observes several delayed instances, increasing the overall process cycle time. He still needs to find the root cause quickly, as the next report to his manager is taking place tomorrow. So he asks Jack for help. Jack feels that Matthew is under pressure, but this time he's very confident to provide him a solution very soon. With his new tool at hand, Jack can quickly get intelligent insights into the real-time event flow of the operative as-is process. And indeed, there are more events involved in the as-is process, increasing the overall process cycle time. But moreover, as he has identified the root cause of the issue, he is able to adjust the order-to-cash business scenario by adding a new KPI. Matthew can now easily identify instances sharing the identified issue. So Matthew's report to his manager is not in danger anymore. So with his new KPI dashboard, Matthew is able to see all process instances sharing the issue at a glance. He can take immediate action to solve the issues and get things done. So this is process intelligence for the digital age, isn't it? So Matthew has now even more process visibility, and Jack can quickly get intelligent insights into the as-is process, and this all in real time. Bastian and Tarun are going to demonstrate how to optimize a business process by combining process visibility and intelligent insights with process mining. Tarun is demoing the part of Matthew, whereas Bastian of Jack.
Thank you. Great. So this is Matthew, and Matthew is responsible for the order-to-cash process. What he really uses is operational process intelligence to really understand and to really ensure that orders are created, processed, picked, packed, delivered, and built on time. He understands that today's situation is really grim because most of the orders are either in a critical state or at risk. This is not really a great state for him. Orders are in creation and are stuck right there. This is not really new, so this has been a problem ever since. Percentage completions of time about 42%, cycle times about 16 days, which is not really the norm, extremely close to the target. But what's even worrying for him is orders in billing which are in a critical state. He's wondering, why is this the case? Isn't they just need to be invoiced and posted? Isn't that the normal norm that has to happen? So he decides to steer the process forward, but to do so, he's presented with a long list of orders. He would like to cluster them to really identify problem areas that he could work with. So in this case, he decides to really cluster them based on material, which he's normally known of problem areas in the past. He looks at the biggest cluster here, which is really compressor oils, and looks at all orders catering to this. He notices that invoices are not being created for most of them. So he dwells into each of them to look at more details. What he notices is about 87% complete, and if things go as is, it will be forecasted to be really delayed, very delayed. What he notices here as well is order creations are delayed. So he likes to understand, why is this the case? So ideally, it has to complete in 4 days, but it takes about 7 days as such. So this is not great, but for now, he wants to steer the process forward. What's happened, he really can't change it. Hence, he looks at saying, let me bill it and ensure I can really take action. So in this case, he's really looking at saying, he doesn't want to navigate to the backend systems, but he actually wants to take action right away. So he looks at creation of invoices, so he triggers it in the backend S/4HANA system in this case, and also posts invoices as such. So with this, he's able to now steer the process forward and take it as well. So if you see, the completion rates have improved, and even the forecasted dates have now improved, saying if you progress well, you will also complete this much faster than not. So now he's got actionable insights where he can actually gain insights and take action. Of course, he could do that with all the orders where invoices have not yet been created, and also decide to take mass action to resolve this problem. So these are more actionable insights that he could actually take. But having said that, he has a bigger problem in place where it's not really about actionable insights, but he's not sure what's going on. With completion rates of 42%, about cycle times of 16 days odd, and many orders stuck in order creation, he's quite worried about it. He looks at cycle time because this is a normal indication for him of what's going on. He looks at saying, maybe I cluster it based on different categories and trying to understand where problem areas are. In most cases, it's very close to the target. In some, it's greater, which gives him an indication that closing extremely close to the target actually means there are only a few days of delay, which actually causes a problem. So he dwells into saying, can I look at all orders that contribute to this? And what he notices is some of them actually take 22 days as such compared to an actual target of 16 days. He looks at one of them, and again here is order creations are problematic and even update of stock. But here it's about a matter of 2 days, which is a difference, whereas in order creations, it's about 13 days compared to a target of 4. So this is definitely a problem that he needs to look at. He's quite puzzled and wondering where exactly the problems are. Is it that credit checks take longer? Is it that removing of delivery blocks take as much time? So he's not really clear on the exact problem space. He understands he has a problem with order creations, but he's not really sure of what's really happening around. So for this, he turns on to Jack to look at saying, can you help me out trying to identify the problem and seeing if we understand or get deeper process insights to transform the process to ensure it's optimized as such. So with this, I hand it over to Bastian.
Thank you. I would like to now show you how Jack basically carries out a root cause analysis using process mining technology to help out Meyer with this problem. So what we are utilizing here is that the process which is executed runs on an S/4HANA system. So in comparison to traditional process mining, we have two big advantages. We have live data available, and we have the full context available. So we're not only interested in the process flow, but basically we have all the metadata. And what you can see here, basically, maybe some of you are a bit more familiar with the SAP data model, you see like VBAP. I don't want to go into technical details. Basically, what we have to our hand, and which is key for the root cause analysis, and just keep this in mind when we go more into the demo, we have all the data available, around 150 fields of context coming live in where we can carry out the analysis. And this is the data technology which we're basically using, combining the HANA platform with the process mining technology of CELONIS. So what we will now carry out is this root cause analysis. And let's start by the core screen of the reconstructed process. So what you can see here basically is the order to cash process, which we just looked into it and has been mined out of the data. So what does it mean basically? Every time a transaction is executed, we have digital footprints, so timestamps in the system. And based upon these timestamps, the system has mined the actual process flow. So you see that sales orders are created, updated, credit checks are done, sales orders are released, delivery blocks, and then basically up to the shipment and the invoice, the whole process coming through. Now, when you look at this process, you'll probably tell me, Bastian, this is looking very simple. Why do we need this fancy stuff? And I completely agree with you, because we want to now carry out the root cause analysis. We want to go deep in and understand why do we have this 16 days throughput time, and even further, how can we improve it? How can we do this better? And the first thing is understanding what is really happening in this process flow. So let's look to the right-hand side where we have the two types of coverages. We can bring more activities and more connections in the process model. So I will start by the first one. We currently have a process flow which is covering 92% of the activities. So let's put one more. And we see here another activity has popped up. So you see the process model is looking different. We have now this critical field change. So we have an overall 13,000 process instances being carried out. And out of them, roughly half, 6,000, have a critical field change. So we keep this in mind. This is already something suspicious, which we have later need to analyze. If we go further, we see another activity coming up, the delivery date being changed. It's also roughly 6,000 cases. So this is our two exceptions which are coming up if we increase the coverage. So we can go up to more and more activities, basically seeing more of the process really being executed. If we combine this now with also the increased coverage on the connection side, the more we go up, the more we basically see the process flows as they're being executed. And what Matthew already sees is his process is quite complex. So there's a multitude of reasons or things basically going on. What he can now do, because he has all the raw data available, the first thing to get an insight, he can basically simulate or animate what's really going on. So the system is now loading the raw data. Imagine we're sitting directly on the S/4HANA system where the process is being executed. It takes the data out, and we can basically get an overview, get a visualization already where things are going on, where, for example, we have bottlenecks going on. We see, for example, here this delay, especially with the credit check, where there were some things. So we can get a first overview, but this is not enough for us because we want to really find out the reasons. So I will now go over to the next step and basically doing an analysis on the data. And what we use here basically is a powerful visualization layer on top of the raw data. And what you can see on the left-hand side, we already see from the first steps of the demo. We see the actual process flow being carried out. What I want to do now is basically edit this and basically come up with a view which will help Matthew. So I'm clicking on the edit button, and you can see, like in a PowerPoint presentation, I'm adding additional components which will help me get an insight in what is going on in the process and hopefully find the root cause. So this is a throughput time search. It basically shows us the throughput time. Let me make it a bit more nice. I'm not the best designer, but will work out for this demo. So we see here the throughput time. It's basically as it's being carried out. And what I will do now is basically I will filter down trying to find the root cause. So I'm clicking here. You see that the system is filtering and it's showing me now the process. And we have now the distribution of the different processes, and we are actually interested in everything which is 16 days and higher. So everything which is 16 days and higher, because this is the long-running cases. And what is ongoing that these cases take so long? So Let me apply the filter. And you see now the process model. On the left-hand side, you see now a process model where these characteristics apply to. So this is all the cases which take 16 days or longer. And we see already it's quite a complex process. And what we see furthermore is that we have this just one pattern coming basically, and the process starts, it runs normally through. But then we have basically here the credit check, the release of the sales order, critical field changes. So let us go a bit more inside there and find out what's actually going on in these sections. So if we drill deeper, we see here the different activities ongoing. We see the credit check being carried out, it takes 2 days. We see these critical field changes. In this case, and the distribution is still the same. So we have now basically filtered down, and you see it's roughly covering 50%, so 6,000 cases, and half of them have this critical field change, taking 2 days. So 2 days out of 16 days, that's quite a significant time, especially taking into account we have certain time periods like shipment and otherwise where it just takes the time. We cannot make the goods fly to the customer, it just takes there. So we also have the delivery date being changed. So what you have seen here basically in this very quick demo that only with a few clicks by basically combining the live data from the HANA and the very powerful interface of CELONIS, Matthew could find the root cause that basically we have to address the credit check, which takes long. We have the critical field changes and the change of the delivery dates. So I will now hand it back to Tarun, who will show you how Matthew can now act on this information.
All right, so what you've seen so far is using CELONIS really getting deeper insights into the process. And this is the as-is process that's really running in our S4HANA system. And some of the critical insights that came out was, critical field changes, which are basically, customers requesting for change, which is either delivery dates are changed or the delivery location or the quantities have changed. And this is something that cannot be controlled. Customers want to make this change. It's about how adaptable we can make our businesses to change. Or in fact, let customers know that that's a good insight for us to tell customers. If such changes happen, we also need to transform the process where we update our delivery dates as such. So they make a conscious decision of saying, yes, we want this change, we understand it will be delayed. So that's one transformation insight that we can transform the process. The second insight that came out was really credit checks take some time. So can we avoid it or can we automate it? So these are insights that we've got, and let's say the decision was really to automate it for most reliable customers, and to really automate it says no need of a credit check. In other cases, it's based on a credit limit for the customer as such. So these are transformational insights that we could get with process mining. But now the question is, when you're going through this transformation of processes, how do you ensure you can keep a tab on this in real time? So what you've seen at least, and what we've actually shown, Matthew uses operational process intelligence to keep a tab on situations in real time. So what he is not aware of today is, yes, the transformation is happening. He understands that the situation would improve. He won't have orders in order creation that are critical anymore. Things should start moving smoothly. But can he keep a tab on situations far better? So for this, he looks at adding certain additional KPIs that he could keep a tab on and keep a track on. So let's assume that it's been enhanced, and this is what he actually sees. So what he would see now is really looking at, yes, credit checks should take lesser time. It today takes about 8 days as such, and we ensure that happens within a period of 4 days. You look at delivery block cycle times also need to reduce, but this is something that we can't do much about. And if you look at all orders that have changes, is something that he wants to monitor. He anticipates that this number would come down, considering customers are aware that changes would also delay orders, so he anticipates things would come down as such. He also looks at overall order processing cycle times would now be within a target, and he's quite happy about it. So this is enabling or helping him during the transformation as such. Right, so with this, a quick a recap on what you've really seen and what we believe is what would help process intelligence for the digital age is actionable insights. So it's important for Matthew as a process operator or an operations manager to gain actionable insights. And these insights really help him to steer the process forward. Absolutely important for him to understand there are operational issues, and sometimes nothing much can be done about it, but you need to transform this process. But to gain transformational insights, he really works with process mining with the help of Jack. Right, trying to gain transformational insights and transforming the process. And after and during this transformation, he really needs support, for which again he uses operational process intelligence. Now, how is this all possible? It's really possible because of the real-time process data mart which lies in HANA. It really collects data across systems, which could be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured processes as well. So if you look at BPM and other similar solutions, they're all extremely structured. But if you look at S4HANA, the Business Suite, or any other transactional systems, they could be semi-structured to unstructured processes as well. And the idea here is to really collect this, to churn it, to work with it, to really make the real-time process data match, which both the solutions work with. So if you see, both solutions work hand in hand, primarily focused on the real-time process data mart, thus enabling process intelligence for the digital age. Thank you.